Bismillah. At first, I want to express my gratitude to my ma'am, Professor Dr. Saleh Khan Madam, for giving me this chance to talk to you with this topic. So today I'm going to talk about prospects and challenges in commercialization of seaweeds in Bangladesh. So question is, what is seaweed? Let us think for a minute. What is seaweed? What do we know about seaweed? So seaweed is the common name for countless of plants, marine plants and algae that grow in the ocean as well as river, lakes, and other water bodies. They are eukaryotic, large, multicellular, nutritious vegetable that grows mainly on the sea. So let's see the global seaweed production scenario now. So the total productions, the 97% of the total productions of the world comes from 6 countries of Asia. That 6 countries are China, Indonesia, Philippines, Japan, Korea, and Thailand. And as we can see that seaweed are very much popular in Asian, South Asian countries as for a long period. That's why the most production has come from this region. But in modern time, the commercial production of seaweeds have been emerging in the Europe, America, Canada, Ghana, Senegal, Nigeria, and all over the world. So now let's see the distribution of seaweeds in Bangladesh coast or in our coast. In this map, we can see there are some region that is marked green. These are the coastal areas of our country. These are the coastal areas which is marked green, and the red dots are the area of the distribution of the seaweed. From this map or this photo, we can clearly see that we have a very diversified seaweed collections or area of seaweed productions. Almost all over our coastal area, it is favorable for seaweed productions. Naturally, seaweed grows along the whole Bangladesh coast, but mainly or commonly the seaweeds are found in St. Martin Island, Cox's Bazar, and in the Sundarbans mangrove forest. Now let's see the seaweed species diversity in Bangladesh. There are 3 types of seaweeds in our country. They are the red seaweeds or Rhodophyta, the brown seaweeds or the Phaeophyta, and the green seaweeds or the Chlorophyta. Rhodophyta is the most dominant one. It encompasses 69.52% of total seaweed of our country. Follows 35.27% by Phaeophyta or the brown algae, and the rest 28.21% of the green seaweeds, Chlorophyta. Here we see some picture of our seaweeds. These are rhodophytes or Rhodophyta. The first one is Sargassum, second one is Spadina, and the last one is the Hydroclathrus. These are very, very important and nutritious seaweeds, and they have many more uses in our domestic life. Here we see some more. They are Colpomania and Helimania. These both are brown. These both are brown seaweeds. Then the next one, we can see the next one is Hypnea. Hypnea is a red seaweed which compasses iodine, which solves our problem in thyroid dysfunction. And the last one here in picture we see is Corium. This is a green seaweed. Some more green seaweeds are Caulerpa, Alva, and Enteromorpha. And some red seaweed species that are commercially being cultured in our coastal areas are Gildiella, Helminia, and Catanella. Now, let's focus on the domestication history or the commercial culture history of the seaweeds. Seaweed was first cultured in 1670 in Japan's Tokyo, but that was in a domestic way, not in commercial way. The commercial culture of the seaweed is started in 1940 in Japan, and in subsequent years that the commercial farming of seaweed has been spread in China, Thailand, Indonesia, and other countries. In Bangladesh, the cultivation of seaweed, commercial cultivation of seaweed is introduced by a man named Mr. Jaffer in 2005. Although having huge prospects, seaweed culture methods are yet to be introduced in Bangladesh. In 2005, Mr. Jaffer first started seaweed culture in Bangladesh. Here we can see a picture of our coast. There are seaweed are being cultured. Seaweed is being cultivated mostly in the Cox's Bazar and St. Martin area. The Nuniyatchora beach and Maheshkhali Channel and Cox's Bazar are the dominant place where seaweed is mostly found. In 3 locations of Cox's Bazar coast, St. Martin Island, Inani, and Bakhali, red seaweed Hypna species is the most procurable species. We already told that the Hypna species has compasses a lot of iodine that helps in our body. So is the most procurable. The red seaweed is also being cultured in the tidal coastline of Nuniachhora beach, where we can see a picture of long line culture of Hypnia. Here the seaweed is cultured in a long line row in the coastal area. Various culture method has been introduced in recent times, but in our country, the most used three methods of culturing seaweeds are long line floating system, net culture system, and rafting system. Now let's talk about the prospects of seaweed in Bangladesh. Seaweeds have immense potential to contribute to the national economy as well as in the global economy. Many countries of the world, such as China, Indonesia, Japan, Korea, Malaysia, and Philippines, they are using seaweed as a cash crop. They are exporting seaweed and earning a lot of foreign currencies. As a lot of countries are importing seaweeds, as we have a chance to import and explore the seaweed market. So what are the causes, or what are the factors that are supporting seaweed culture in Bangladesh? So the first one, we can see favorable tropical maritime climate and natural resources for seaweed culture in Bangladesh. Seaweeds are the wealth of the ocean and are valued greatly for their diverse application worldwide as significant marine resources. The use of seaweed is very diversified. Bangladesh is one of the biggest delta regional country, and recently we have won a huge amount of maritime boundaries from Myanmar and India, which will in near future enhance our seaweed culture possibilities, and which will eventually make a very big impact on our global economy. The second point is the export potentiality of Bangladeshi seaweed in international market. Seaweed as food have a very big or very huge demand in different countries as Korea, Japan, Indonesia, some European countries. Nowadays, the demand of seaweed in America and Canada is also increasing. So we have a huge chance to export this seaweed to the foreign market and can earn a lot of money. Cost effectiveness of seaweed cultivation in Bangladesh. As 40% of total people of the world lives around the 100 kilometers of the coast. In Bangladesh, 36 million people are living around the coastal line or in the coast. So Bangladesh has the labor cost in Bangladesh is very cheap. So we can use those unemployed people or the coastal people into this seaweed culture program, and we can enhance our seaweed culture and enhance our economy rapidly. The next point is potentiality of women empowerment. So seaweed farming in Bangladesh. And nowadays, women are not keeping behind or just sitting behind. They are now working shoulder to shoulder with men, and in some areas they are more efficient than men. In seaweed culture of the Southeast Asian countries, China, Japan, or the other countries, it is seen that the women contributed more in seaweed culture than men. So in our country, we can use those women, the coastal women who are sitting at their home without doing nothing, into an commercial or economical work, which will help their financial condition, which will also eradicate poverty, and as well as our seaweed production will enhanced, and we will earn a lot of money. The last one is socio-economic benefits of seaweed or for coastal communities in Bangladesh. I already said that by association of coastal people in the seaweed culture, the coastal economy will improve. The family condition of the coastal people will improve, and thus will improve the national economy or the national, and the poverty will also eradicate from here. So now let's see what is the uses of seaweed and where we can use or apply this seaweed or seaweed products. The first one is seaweed as human food. The use of seaweeds as human food has dynamic roots around the world for centuries, possibly millennia. In many countries, seaweed has been considered as a staple food for a very long time. Caulerpa, Codium, Alpha, Enteromorpha, and many other types of seaweeds are long been used as fresh salad or cooked vegetable. Different type of processed seaweeds like seaweeds jelly, seaweed sauces, seaweeds wafer, seaweed pickles, etc. are used and exports in different countries, and people are enjoying eating those meals. And they also have physical health values as well as nutritional values. Here is a two picture of a food item of seaweeds. Isn't it delicious? Now, seaweed also used as supplementary feed and fertilizer. Seaweeds are appropriate in organic agriculture as fertilizer. Seaweeds are used as fertilizer in the coastal areas from a long time, but it is not that much spread all over the country. Seaweeds can also be used as a supplementary feed in poultry farming, cattle farming, as well as in fish farming. We can use seaweed extract with fish meal, and we can use it as poultry feed. Here is some supplementary food and feed type and fertilizer made from seaweeds. Now, the medicinal and pharmacological properties of seaweed. So, seaweed has very high medicinal value. The extract, the polymer extract of seaweeds are used in medicine, pharmacology, and biochemistry. Seaweeds have curative powers against various diseases like antimicrobial, antifungal, antibacterial, and antifoulant, anti-allergic, anti-cancer, and they also have antioxidant activities. Their known medicinal effects are used in preventing different type of diseases like colds, influenza, arthritis, and tuberculosis. Now, the next one is seaweeds in wastewater treatment. Seaweeds are now rapidly being used in wastewater treatment. Seaweeds in modern times are used in the treatment of sewage and agricultural wastes by removing most of the nutrient efficiently from the wastewater. Seaweeds can efficiently treat wastewater that are from the biological effluent. It can remove nitrogen and phosphorus from the effluents. Here in the picture, we can see a water treatment plant where seaweeds are used to treat the water or the effluent into fresh water. Now here the next one is the seaweeds in cosmetic applications. In the modern world, we always want to look more beautiful, more handsome. So we all use different type of cosmetic products. So in cosmetic industry, seaweeds is a must thing nowadays. Currently, seaweeds have become a key arsenal in cosmetic industry because seaweeds are being used in different type of cosmetic products such as soap, shampoo, body wash, body powder, etc. Here is a picture of some cosmetics that are manufactured from seaweeds extract. Seaweeds as a renewable energy supplier. The unexploitable seaweeds or the unexploitable resource that we have of seaweeds that can be used in producing renewable energy or energy. If we ferment the seaweeds in anaerobic condition, we can get methane, which we can use in our domestic use, in cooking, or in other work, as well as we can produce electricity, or we can use this methane or biofuel in our electricity productions. Here is a flow diagram of how seaweeds are being transferred or transformed into biofuel. So we have learned a lot of things from now. We have seen the uses, the applications, the importance, everything. Then what is the problem? What is the stepping stone that we are not able to development the culture technique of seaweed, or seaweed are not commercially being cultured that rapidly or that extensively in our country. So here is some point. The first one is the lack of skilled manpower. We have a lot of coastal people, a lot of manpower, but they are not skilled. So skilled manpower is needed. And how people would be skilled, or how the manpower would be skilled? For that, we need training programs and demonstrations. So lack of training programs and demonstration is also a stepping stone in commercialization of seaweed cultivations. That's next one is the lack of extensive, receptive, and supportive social and economic conditions. As we can see that there is a very little formal marketing channel or domestic marketing channel of seaweeds in our country, and we do not know that much about seaweed culture or seaweed market or the value chain of seaweed. That's why people are not interested to culture or invest their time and money in seaweed productions. So the absence of formal marketing system of seaweed is a very big problem in seaweed culture. As from our discussion, we can see that in our country, as we are not taking seaweed as food that much, but some ethnic group of peoples, like the Mok people especially, they are eating seaweeds or consuming seaweeds as salad, soup, sauce, and vegetables. Besides the consume as food, seaweeds are being used in various ways in the Saint Martin Island areas. So that's all from my presentation. If you have any question regarding my presentation, please feel free to ask me.